We all should pray for Colombia. A massive earthquake struck Colombia, and this could be a sign of end time. So, if you call yourself a true child of God, please put Colombia in your prayers while praying. It is very important. Watch this.
The death toll from Colombia's devastating 7.4 magnitude earthquake has climbed sharply overnight, with confirmed fatalities now standing at 175 people, according to the latest tally from the Colombian Association of Capital Cities. That figure marks a dramatic increase from earlier reports on Monday, which had placed the toll at around 132, and it continues to rise as rescue teams work through the rubble in the hardest-hit cities. Authorities warn the number is likely to grow further as emergency crews reach more remote and heavily damaged areas. According to the updated tally, Cali now accounts for the highest number of deaths in the country, with 85 confirmed fatalities, followed by 55 deaths in Pereira, 9 in the city of Quibdó, and 5 in Manizales.
Marica. Ay, marica. Ay, marica. Ay, marica, se cayó, jueputa.
This marks a significant shift from earlier reporting, when Pereira had been identified as the hardest-hit city. Officials in Cali added 10 additional fatalities to their earlier count overnight, pushing the nationwide total higher. In Cali alone, the city's mayor said at least 20 buildings had completely collapsed, with people trapped inside multiple structures.
Gonorrea, marica. Yo traté a mi mamá.
Rescue operations there have been especially difficult, and the city's mayor reported that as many as 188 people remain missing, a staggering number that suggests the final death toll could climb considerably higher in the coming days. The earthquake struck Monday morning at 7:34 local time, with its epicenter near the small town of San Jose del Palmar in the mountainous Chaco region, roughly 250 miles west of the capital, Bogotá.
¡Para allá, Dios! Padre Dios, ilumina.
Colombia's Geological Service confirmed it as the strongest earthquake to hit the country in a decade. The quake was felt across a massive area, with tremors reported not only throughout Colombia, but also in neighboring Ecuador, Venezuela, and Panama.
Protégenos, Señor. Protégenos, Dios mío. Protégenos, Padre. Protégenos, Dios. Ten misericordia, Dios mío.
Dios mío bendito.
Colombia's newly inaugurated president, Abelardo de la Espriella, addressing the nation in a briefing, said that at least 700 people had been injured in the disaster, a number that has likely grown since, with the Colombian Association of Capital Cities now reporting 570 injuries in its own updated count.
Dios mío. Gracias, juez. ¡Joda, listo!
The president also said that an estimated 5,000 homes had been damaged or destroyed across the affected regions. Separately, officials reported that at least 61 buildings had collapsed nationwide, with more than 1,600 homes damaged or destroyed, though these figures continue to be revised as assessment teams reach additional areas.
Señor. Quietos todos, quietos todos, quietos, quietos, quietos. Quietos todos, quietos todos.
5 capital cities across Colombia remain under red alert, the country's highest level of disaster warning, as emergency services work to stabilize the situation. 7 airports have suspended operations entirely, including those serving Armenia, Cali, Manizales, Pereira, Quibdó, Buenaventura, and Cartago, severely limiting the ability of aid and personnel to reach the region by air.
¡Qué gonorrea de temblor, weón! Téngase duro, marica, eso, ¿no?
Infrastructure across the hardest-hit areas has been extensively disrupted, with officials reporting damage to roads, hospitals, aqueducts, energy systems, and telecommunications networks in the zones that took the brunt of the shaking.
Uy, no.
In Pereira, a city in the heart of Colombia's coffee-growing region, dramatic video footage geolocated by international news organizations captured the exact moment several buildings collapsed during the earthquake, showing structures crumbling into clouds of dust as people fled through the streets. In a particularly harrowing incident, 16 people were rescued after being trapped for 6 hours inside an aerial cable car system that had been suspended above the city when the earthquake struck, leaving passengers stranded high above the ground until rescue crews could reach them. Hospitals in the region have also suffered severe damage. In Cali, a hospital experienced a partial collapse of one of its wings, forcing staff to relocate patients, even as the facility continued treating earthquake victims. Local officials in Chaco, the department nearest the epicenter, reported 13 confirmed deaths and at least 84 injuries, according to the region's governor, who noted that infrastructure damage was making it difficult to fully assess the situation in more remote communities.
Marica, eso, no se caiga de ahí, marica. Miren las motos como se mueven, weón. ¿Ah? Hasta no tumbar edificios no va a quedar contento, marica. Ay, gonorrea, vea ese edificio como se mueve, véalo, véalo. Vea el carro, weón. Vea, weón, vea qué temblor tan caremondado, weón. ¿Ah?
The disaster has drawn an immediate and substantial international response. The United States government announced it is committing $15.5 million toward Colombia's earthquake relief efforts, with funding directed toward emergency shelter, food assistance, protective services, and structural damage assessments in the affected areas. Additional support has reportedly been offered by governments and organizations across South America, Europe, and the Middle East as the scale of the disaster became clear. The region hit hardest by this earthquake, Colombia's so-called coffee axis, holds particular significance both economically and historically. It is a mountainous, agriculturally vital area that plays a major role in powering the national economy through coffee production.
¿Listos?
Notably, this same region was struck by a similarly devastating earthquake in 1999, which killed nearly 1,200 people and remains one of the deadliest natural disasters in the country's modern history. The historical parallel has added to the sense of alarm among officials and residents alike, given how familiar this region is with catastrophic seismic events.
Quieta. No se mueva, no se mueva de ahí. Ahí me pucha, veo una señora se
No, Violeta. ¡Violeta!
Pero no vas.
As of the most recent reports, rescue and recovery operations remain active around the clock across Cali, Pereira, Quibdó, and Manizales, with search teams working through the night under difficult conditions to locate survivors still buried beneath collapsed structures.
Ya.
Local residents have been seen joining professional rescue crews, working side by side to clear debris by hand in hopes of reaching people trapped inside the wreckage. Authorities have not ruled out further increases in the death toll, particularly given the still unresolved number of missing persons in Cali, and officials continue to caution that assessments in more isolated mountain communities near the epicenter remain incomplete, meaning the full human and economic cost of the disaster may not be known for days.
Dios, ¿qué es esto, Dios mío? Dios, Manny, se va a caer esa pared, weón. Dios, mi familia, marica. Dios, ¿qué es esto?
The death toll continues to climb rapidly as rescue crews work through the night and into Tuesday morning, with officials warning that the true scale of the disaster may not be known for days. In Cali alone, 188 people remain unaccounted for, a number that has raised serious concern among emergency officials, given how many buildings collapsed in the city's densely populated neighborhoods. Colombia's Geological Service has confirmed at least 21 aftershocks in the hours following the main quake, complicating rescue operations as crews are forced to repeatedly evacuate unstable structures for safety checks before resuming their search for survivors. In the Risaralda region, home to Pereira, local authorities now say at least 40 people have died, while in Val del Cauca, where Cali is located, the death toll has reached 27, including 3 children, according to the region's governor. The Colombian government has formally declared a state of national disaster, unlocking emergency funding and resources to support the response effort across the hardest-hit departments. President Abelardo de la Espriella, who took office just days before the earthquake struck, has convened a unified emergency committee and said he is personally overseeing rescue operations from Bogota. Communication remains severely limited in parts of Chaco near the epicenter, where officials say outages have slowed efforts to assess the full extent of damage in more remote, rural communities. A community leader in Quibdó described the region as devastated, saying many residents remain missing as search teams continue working to reach areas still cut off from the outside world.
I hope you see everything. In fact, pray for this country because many lost their life, many lost their properties, and we don't know if this earthquake will continue. It could be a sign of end time, yes, but I pray that God Almighty should have mercy. What do you have to say? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let's know what you think. For more updates like this, subscribe. See you in my next upload. And bye.